Picture it, a battlefield, moments before the first clash. The silence is so thick you can feel it. Now, what's the very first act of war? It's not an arrow, it's not a sword, it's a sound. A single sound that sets the stage for everything to come. So, let's listen in, because what we're about to hear changes the entire story. So, if you remember, we've been listening to the Kaurava camp. We heard their king, Duryodhana, running through his plans, naming his warriors, shouting out instructions. The air was just buzzing with a very specific kind of energy.
And really, it was the sound of deep insecurity, wasn't it? A whole lot of anxious boasting and loud orders. It's the kind of noise an army makes when it's trying really, really hard to convince itself that it's strong. You know, it's a sound that's born from fear.
But then, something changes. The entire soundscape of the battlefield shifts. We're about to move from that frantic noise of fear to something else entirely.
And this huge shift, it's all captured in one single powerful verse. Shloka 14 from the first chapter. I'm going to recite it. Let's just listen and let the sound of it settle in for a moment.
tataḥ śvetair hayair yukte mahati syandane sthitau mādhavaḥ pāṇḍavaś caiva divyau śaṅkhau pradadhmatuḥ.
tataḥ śvetair hayair yukte mahati syandane sthitau mādhavaḥ pāṇḍavaś caiva divyau śaṅkhau pradadhmatuḥ.
Okay, so what in the world did we just hear? What is this moment really all about? Let's break down what this verse is actually telling us.
So on a literal level, the scene is just magnificent. You've got Krishna and Arjuna, and they're standing calmly on this incredible chariot. It's being pulled by pure white horses, and that's a huge symbol, by the way. White horses represent clarity. And get this, they blow their conches, but the verse is super specific. They're divyau, we're divine. So you might be thinking, okay, so they're just blowing their horns back at the other guys, right? Well, according to the great philosopher Shankaracharya, nope, it's something way, way deeper than that.
This is really the heart of it. Look at the difference. Duryodhana's camp made noise fueled by aggression and fear, but what we hear from Arjuna is a signal. It's a signal of moral confidence, of inner certainty. The Kauravas were shouting orders. The Pāṇḍavaś, they sound a single, clear note that is Dharma itself, righteousness, making its presence known.
And this is absolutely crucial. The sound of the conches isn't a battle cry. It's not about pumping up the soldiers for the fight. It's about a fundamental shift in mindset. It's a move from the chaos and fear on the other side to a state of absolute, profound clarity.
And when you see that difference, you get to the core lesson of the shloka. It's a really powerful idea about what true authority actually sounds like.
Think about that for a second. When clarity is truly present, when you know your purpose, authority doesn't need to shout. It doesn't need to boast or get aggressive. It just sounds. It has a power, a resonance that cuts right through all the other noise.
So this one single, divine sound, it becomes a massive turning point, not just on the battlefield, but for the entire epic. This is the moment the fight stops being just about a kingdom. It becomes a struggle between chaos and clarity, between adharma and dharma. And yeah, after this sound, absolutely everything changes.
But that clear, powerful sound, it's just the beginning. Pretty soon, other warriors are going to join in, blowing their own conches. And as we're about to find out in the very next shloka, all of those conches have names. So what story do those names tell? Well, that's what we're going to dive into next time.